My name is Tengku Peribakis binti Kurosa. My matrix number is 058834.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Aida Shaira binti Zulkifli. My matric number 058658.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Fizlin binti Muhammad Ruzzi and my matric number is 0575 and 93.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Nur Aisyah binti Muhammad Zamri. My matric number is 057515.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Nazifa Usna binti Muhammad Tarmizi and my matric number is 058586.
Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Maisara binti Muhammad Hussein and my matrix number is 057712. Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Maisara binti Muhammad Hussein and I'm from Group 2. First of all, I'm going to give a brief on the Memorandum of Transfer. So what is actually meant by the Memorandum of Transfer? Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge you guys that instead of MOT, it is also one term called DOA, Deeds of Assignments. These two terms are actually the same, but it differs in terms of the context. So going back to our focus, generally, MOT, it is some sort of documents that the buyer needs to sign first. It is on purpose to transfer the ownership from the seller to the buyer. However, there is another requirement to ensure that the ownership is fully transferred to the buyer, which is the property need to have or receive the land title first. If not, then the agreement will be terminated. Talking about the transfer of ownership, below are the key steps in the legal process of buying a house. So, the first one is of course, home loan and lawyer up. Searching for the right home loan is the first step towards owning a property, and it is also the perfect point to contract a legal professional to help with the process. It is not compulsory for you to hire a professional, but with all of the many legal documents to come, it is probably a pretty good idea to get all of the help that you can. Second, there must be a letter of offer. So the letter of offer is a document which sets out your initial desire to purchase and a seller's willingness to sell. It notes things such as the agreed selling price, relevant furnishing, and the dates by which the SPA should be signed. Next, SPA, Sales and Purchase Agreements. So SPA is a comprehensive agreement setting out the terms and conditions of a purchase. This is an important document that sets out conditions such as the date of transfer, condition of purchase, items included in the sales, as well as other relevant terms. Also, there must be a facility agreement. This is the legal document to officially confirm the home loan agreement that you have signed with your bank. Lastly, it is the MOT or DOA. MOT in Malaysia is the document which legally confirms the actual transfer of ownership. In cases where the property to be bought had not received its relevant title yet, a DOA form is used to transfer the ownership of a property, and further documents recording the developer's consent will also be required.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Nur Aisyah binti Muhammad Zamri. My matric number is 057515. I will talk about legal charge. What is legal charge? As we know, legal charge is a fee paid for legal service. When preparing a bank loan agreement, there will be a legal fees for loan agreement. So, other than that, we have stamp duty on loan agreement, disbursement fee, and also 60% service tax. Okay, for the first slide, we have a legal fee on loan agreement. Legal fees are part of the SPA and is basically a charge of engaging legal assistance for the purchase of a property. Typically, the solicitor will be assigned by the seller, but should the buyer choose to pick their own representative, it is allowed. So here we have a example for the calculation. Next, we have stamp duty for loan agreement. Stamp duty is a tax levied on a variety of written instruments specified in the first schedule of Stamp Duty Act 1949. In general term, stamp duty will be imposed to legal, commercial and financial instrument. An instrument is required to be stamped within 30 days of its execution if executed within Malaysia. If the instrument is executed outside Malaysia, it must be stamped within 30 days after it has been first received in Malaysia. Two types of stamp duty, namely ad valorem duty and fixed duty. Besides, disbursement fee also include when preparing for the bank loan agreement. There will be some other small fees involved like stamping on statutory declaration and affirmation, stamping on letter offer, registration fees for charge and issue, registration fees for entry and withdrawal of a private credit, a registration fee of consent to charge, winding up and background search, land search, bank purchase document, travelling and courier services, photocopy, printing, faxing and so on. All these small fees are lumped into one and called disbursement fee. Generally, the total charge of the disbursement fee will be in the range of 1,500 to 2,000. Lastly, we have 6% service tax. This service tax is imposed on specific prescribed services provided by a taxable person in the course or furtherance of Malaysia's business. The current service tax in Malaysia is 6%. A lawyer charge a 6% service tax to the client. The portion being charged is the legal fee on loan agreement and the subsidiary documents.
What is restriction interest? A restriction in interest refers to any limitation imposed by the state authority on the powers of the registered land proprietor on his land to subdivide, partition, or amalgamate, as well as the limitation on his powers to deal with it by way of transfer or the creation of lease, charge, easement, tenancy, statutory, whereas condition relates to the manner to which the land is to be utilized. Understanding restriction in interest and Bumiputra attributes or properties in Malaysia. Understanding restriction in interest and Bumiputra attributes of properties in Malaysia. The restriction of a Bumiputra unit is usually endorsed on the issue document of title as follow. Sekatan-sekatan kepentingan tanah yang terkandung di dalam hak milik ini apabila sahaja bertukar hak miliknya kepada seseorang Bumiputra, maka tidak boleh dijual, dipajak atau dipindah milik dengan apa cara sekalipun kepada orang yang bukan Bumiputra tanpa persetujuan penguasa negeri.
Next, we have conditions of housing loan. A home loan or mortgage loan in Malaysia is a loan taken out from a bank or financial institution to help you purchase property. This allows more people to own a home as they don't need to fork out the entire amount upfront. So here we have a few conditions of housing loan. First, we have deferment. Loan deferment is when a borrower is allowed to temporarily help making payments on their principal and interest of a loan for an agreed upon time. Initially, the loan deferment introduced by the government in April 2020 allow borrowers to make a deferment on their payments for a period of 6 months. Second, we have compounding interest, or we call compound interest. This can be thought of as interest on interest. It is the addition of interest calculated on the initial principal, which also includes all of the accumulated interest from previous period. It is also applied to both loans and saving accounts. Next, yearly settlement also one of the important conditions of housing loan. This occurs when a borrower completes the entire loan payment before the agreed upon date. For example, consider a borrower who pays off 30-year home loan in 20 years. While this is beneficial for the borrower, banks dislike yearly settlements because their profit from the interest charge is reduced. As a result, depending on the loan agreement signed, the borrower will either receive a rebate or be penalized. If the borrower chooses to pay off the loan early, they will be responsible for the cost of releasing the property from the bank. Aside from settling the loan early, refinancing is also considered early settlement and will be treated as such. Lastly, valuation. Valuation is required when purchasing a home. It is an estimate of the property's worth on which the stamp duty of the property is calculated. There are two types of valuation. One based on the transactional value of houses in the same area, which may not to be representative of the true value of the property, and the other by a licensed valuer. Typically, banks will rely on the figures provided by professional valuers.
We go to the part discharge of charge. The procedure of redeeming the original title from the bank following the settlement of the housing loan with the financer is known as discharge of charge. This process will begin after the bank instructs the purchaser or borrower to hire their own solicitor to handle the process. Only once the loan has been completely settled can the purchaser or borrower obtain their original title from the bank. Discharge of charge is necessary in order to remove the bank's name from the title, in addition to redeeming the original title from the bank. Because the purchaser or borrower has already paid off their loan, the bank no longer has a claim to the property, and their name should be removed from the title by way of registration at the land office. So now the basic of procedure for charge discharge is as follows. The client must sign a letter of authorization from 16N, discharge of charge signed by the bank. Stamp relevant document at LHDN, which is Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. Registration at land office. And the last one is the client obtains the original title. The following is required documents for discharge of charge, which are the identity card of purchaser or borrower, quit rent of the current year, assessment of the current year, and the proof of settlement of loan. And what is the type? The type of property under discharge of charge is individual or strata title property.
Stamp duty. Stamp duties are imposed on instruments and not transactions. An instrument is defined as any written documents, and in general, stamp duty is levied on legal, commercial, and financial instruments. So stamp duty is an important consideration in all real estate transactions. So there are two types of duty. ad valorem duty, and also the fixed duty. Ad valorem duty is the rate of duty varies according to the nature of the instrument and the considerations stipulated in the instruments or the market value of the property. So when I explore more about the stamp duty, the charge imposed and the calculation of the stamp duty, here we go. Okay, so talking about land search, it is one of the procedures that need to be complied with when buying a property, especially prior to making of payments of deposits. Buyers should carefully study the land search copy provided by the estate agent before entering into any sales agreement or paying a deposit. By understanding the key information about the relevant property, potential risks and loss can be better avoided. Land search contains information regarding a property or land that can be obtained through respective land registrates office throughout Malaysia. So in this case, a land search is an important document in a property transaction. It provides the searcher with essential information regarding the property, such as its address, ownership details, and any other information required. You may conduct the land search on your own at the respective land office or land registry. Besides that, you may also appoint a solicitor or lawyer to assist you on this matter. In order for you or your lawyer to do a land search, you must first contact with the vendor solicitor or lawyer and obtain particulars of the property that will allow it to be searched and identified by the land office. The cost to pay for the land search differs in every state, subjected to the official land office charges. So, some of the costs to do the land search can be comprised as